Welcome back to Market Pros, and here we have Bitcoin on the 8 hour. First, we're going to go over the chart layout so you can see what I am seeing, and then we're going to move on to the analysis. So here we have your moving averages, these lines right here. Yellow being your 21, red being your 50, blue being your 100, and purple being your 200. Next, we have the VPVR, which is horizontal volume at a certain price level. Basically, how your volume is vertical, this volume is horizontal. Then we have your momentum oscillators, one being your RSI, other one being your MACD. Then we have your volatility measurement being your BBWP. Then if we go to the other chart, we have your stochastic, which is also a momentum oscillator. And then we have the bullish and bearish order blocks. All right, so let's go back and we'll begin the analysis. Okay, so on the 8 hour, 21 looks like it's trying to cross the 50 on the current tick. We're being held down by the 100. Okay. All your major moving averages do have negative slopes. The 100 is curling over as well. Like I said, you're being held down by the 100 right now. We're going to go over the bullish and bearish cases here soon. I'm going to go over all the indicators and see what variables we have feeding into the bullish and bearish cases first. So we have your POC, point of control, and the VPVR right here at basically 16,950. Okay, and if we do go up there, the 21 and the 50 will probably come down to there as well. So I would expect a rejection from that level, probably even 16,940. And then we'll come back to it. Now, your RSI is in the bearish control zone below your signal line. Looks like it's coming back up. Could come up to the top of the bearish control zone, which would act as major resistance because your signal line is coming in at the same spot. That would also coincide with us getting up to that 21 and the 50. Now, that's only if we break the 100 at about 16,820, 16,830. Okay, then we would probably go up to the 17,050 level. Possibly even 16,950 is what I'd be looking at. All right, MACD, fresh cross to that zero line. Negative momentum's waning a bit, but your signal line also crossed the zero line. So I would expect this momentum to pick back up to the downside. BBWP, curling over. Looks like it's crossing his moving average, but on the 8 hour, I mean, you are going sideways right now. You're going sideways in really all time frames up to the 8 hour. So, yeah, I mean, let's go down to the 4 hour and then we'll get down, zoom in as we go. So here on the 4 hour, you're having a multi crossover. 21 crossed your 50, 21 and 50 crossed your 100. 200's flat. I mean, we front ran the 200 twice so far. Basically, that's basically the top of our range. Um, so if these moving averages start to fan out, that's going to go into the bearish side. I mean, your RSI is also in the bearish control zone above your signal line, but we are deep in the bearish control zone. MACD is trying to get that test. Are we going to get a crossover? Negative momentum has decreased all the way to the zero line, trying to print that dark green bar. But if we get a test and a resumption, kind of like you had here, a little bit of a fake out. Let's see what happened last time that happened. Yeah, I mean, you had a nice little pump, but cracked back down, came back down twice. Um, so we'll find out. Now, bigger probability is that we just get the test and resume to the downside. BBWP is very low right now. So the move is about to happen. We're not going to stay in this sideways range for too much longer. It's basically which way do we break out of the range. Now, on the 1 hour, we have grabbed liquidity a few times. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in. So we got the top of your range right here at about 16,750, but you have grabbed liquidity quite a few times, having a few little bull traps. Now, is this the last one? If we do cross the 21 at 16,720 and then come down to the POC at basically 16,685, I would expect this thing to roll over and break these last lows and break the bottom of the range after probably a small bounce around 16,640. All right, your RSI has basically reset. I mean, you're in, come on, TradingView. You're in the neutral median zone. You're in the upper neutral median zone. You're going to have major support here at this neutral median line because your signal line is basically going to work its way up. So if you cross that signal line, you're probably going to go back into the bearish control zone, all right, which will feed into the bearish case. MACD is basically reset. I mean, your positive momentum waned all the way down. Now it's pretty stable. You're probably going to get rejected from the zero line. That would be my guess. BBWP is going sideways, but you just crossed your moving average again. So I would expect the volatility to start picking up here. All right. Now, let's go over the order blocks, stochastic. Then we'll come back to and go over the bullish and bearish cases. Stochastic, trying to get that fresh cross to the downside. Let's see, do we have any divergences? Actually, no, we do not. We do not have any divergences right now. Let's see here. Actually, you had bullish divergence from here to here, but that's already played out. Getting rejected from this order block. We have not been able to break above it at about 16,794. It's where that order block comes in at. So we keep getting rejected from there. All right, so let's go back, talk about the bullish and bearish case. Basically, it's pretty simple. Whoa, fucked that up, didn't I? It's pretty simple right now. You break the 50, 16,800 on a 1 hour closure. I would expect you to come somewhere around 16,900 at first. If we can break 16,900, I expect you to come all the way back up to 17K, and then we'll come back to it where that 100 is sitting. All right, bearish case is that you break this last range low, 16,630. 31 is what I want to see on a 1 hour closure. After that, I would expect you to go to 16.5, basically back down to this wick low, have a bounce, then head down to 16K. All right, so is the pain over? That's the question right now. I think there's more probability to the downside, but I'm about 70-30 in favor of the bears. So there's always that smaller percentage that we could just go up. You know what I mean? And then get rejected, or we'll come back to it. So if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord. A lot of good conversation about trading, crypto, investing, markets as a whole. Stay ahead of these moves before they happen. Figure out this market collectively. There are events a few times a week. We have an event today, event tomorrow, and an event Tuesday. Definitely join those. Turn on those bell notifications so you get notified with this time-sensitive content. Also in the Discord, we share our trades, we share our strategies. It's a really good place to be. So definitely join the Discord. So let's move on to Ethereum. Here on Ethereum, broke out of our red box. All right, we've been talking about that. If we broke out of this red box, we're probably going to go down. Now we're consolidating, being held down by the 50, being held up by the 21 as of now. RSI in the upper neutral median zone above your signal line. Looks like you're coming back down. You are finding resistance right here. You basically have resistance right where we're at right now. I mean, you got previous lows, previous high. You do have support and resistance on your indicators, so definitely be aware of that. MACD, pretty much reset, trying to get that fresh cross, but honestly, we could just get rejected from this zero line, which will act as major resistance. BBWP, below its moving average, but as soon as it crosses above it, that's when we're going to break the range, okay? As soon as we start to break this range, that volatility is going to turn up, start expanding, and then we're going to have some follow through, whether it's to the upside or the downside. Now, bullish case is that we break the 50 in the range highs at about 1192. If that happens, I would expect a retest of the 1223 level where the 100 and the bottom of this red box is. Now, what happens next, we'll come back to, because we could just get rejected from there. If we do break back above it, I would expect a small rejection from 1250. Honestly, I think we would start coming through these VPVR levels and trying to work our way back up. Bearish case is that you break the last low on a 1 hour closure at 1166. I would expect you to go all the way back down to 1080. And that is the higher probability right now. Now, we could get a bull trap first. Could grab some more liquidity. But we'll find out what happens next. Let's move on to Solana. Okay, so Solana looking a little weaker. being held down by the 50, front running the 50 right now, trying to be held up by the 21. If you break that 21, you're probably going to come back down to the range lows at about 1220. And then we'll figure out what happens next. We're going to go over the bullish and bearish case here in a second. So in the upper neutral median zone, similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum, you are above your signal line. But if you cross that signal line again, I do expect you to enter the bearish control zone. Your MACD's coming up on that zero line, but your positive momentum is very weak. So I would not be surprised if we get rejected from that zero line. BBWP is contracting as the price action's been moving a little up, which makes me feel like this is just a corrective move. I mean, you could just have some sort of a bear flag right here. You know what I mean? I'm not much of a pattern trader, but I mean, you're making higher highs, higher lows, barely, and after a big move down. So your 21 did cross your 200. So longer term, this could be a downtrend. And that's the higher probability. I mean, you bounced from the POC, point of control, and the VPVR here to your right. So if we break that, if we break the 1229 level, we're probably going to come down to the range lows. If we break 1211, $11 is in the next stop. Okay, bullish case. Break the 50, 1260 on a 1 hour closure. So basically these range highs. I would expect you to come up to the 100, in between the 100 and the 200, between 1334 and 1310. What happens next, we'll come back to it, because if you get rejected from there, you're probably going to enter back into the range and head back down. If you can get above 1335, I would expect a minor rejection from the $14 level. Ultimately, I think you'd work your way back up to 1475. All right, so once again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel, show some support in a bear market. I wish everyone well. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.